So I'm making this video because I noticed between 2022 and 2023, I really hit a plateau in terms of building any new muscle. What I was doing was not working as well as it previously did. I knew that I needed to make some changes. So there are 4 key things that I switched up about my training. And in the 5 months to follow that, I actually made some pretty substantial progress. So I'm going to go over what those 4 things are. And let's get right into it with the first one, which would be training almost exclusively in the 5 to 30 rep range, meaning very little time doing 1 rep maxes, 2 rep maxes, 3 rep maxes, things like that. It's something I was guilty of probably doing a little bit too often because I love training heavy. I love lifting heavy weights, but it makes you tired. It's draining. It exhausts you mentally and physically and takes energy away from what could otherwise be used for a productive muscle building workout. A lot of the research has shown that anything between 5 to 30 reps is going to give you great results in terms of building muscle. And by making sure that every working set is at least a weight that is light enough for me to hit for at least 5 reps, that has really helped me avoid burnout, avoid taking impromptu deload days or weeks. It's just overall allowed me to train more consistently, more frequently, which gets me right into the second thing that I switched up. Was I started training more frequently, more days per week. I actually, for a period of time, adopted a 6-day per week training split. For years, I had been doing 4 days a week, kind of like a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, upper, lower type routine. And it worked well for a long time. And it's still a very effective split. It can still get great results. But for me, that routine was starting to get stale. So for a brief period of time, I actually started incorporating 6-day per week training. And overall, the total amount of volume was more or less the same as it had been when I was training 4 days a week, but it was spread out through 6 days instead of 4. And that was something that I really enjoyed, kind of getting in and getting out those quick 35 to 40 minute mini workouts, if you will. That was something that, at least psychologically, I really enjoyed doing as a way to switch things up. And I feel like it could have made a bit of a difference in terms of, now I was hitting every muscle group 3 times a week instead of 2 times a week. So that could have had some kind of marginal benefit on putting on a little bit of newfound muscle. It's definitely not something mandatory. I've actually backed down from 6 days a week. I'm down to 5 now, and I'm really liking that as well. It's something you could just give a try. As far as best practices for you, I would say that 4 days a week is definitely going to be better than 3. 5 days a week may possibly marginally be better than 4. And 6 days a week maybe could be better than 5, maybe. But it's not doable for a lot of people with busy schedules. By no means is it absolutely necessary. It's just something that you can give a try. You feel like switching things up and seeing how you respond to it. It worked well for me. And then number 3 would be developing a maniacal desire to really emphasize the stretch position of every exercise that I could. I've never been somebody that's intentionally tried to cheat range of motion, but after watching enough Dr. Mike Israetel videos from Renaissance Periodization and seeing the way that they train, I've really put more of an emphasis over the last 5 or so months here on focusing on really milking the stretch position of an exercise for all that it's worth. According to what a lot of the research says, the eccentric component or the lowering component is probably the more hypertrophic, the more muscle building prone phase of the repetition. So you've got your eccentric, your lowering, you've got your concentric, the contraction component of the rep. And of the two, it seems like the eccentric, the lowering, might be a little bit more hypertrophic out of the two. So I do think that really putting an emphasis on milking that stretch as much as I can probably did contribute to a little bit of new muscle gain. And then finally, number 4 would be I've begun adhering more strictly to a reps in reserve protocol than I was before. Meaning, previously what I would do is on average, all my heavy barbell compounds like benches, squats, deadlifts, I would always leave 1 to 2 reps in the tank. But then on the accessory exercises, pretty much every time in, I would take them 2 or sometimes even beyond failure. I would absolutely exhaust the muscle. And this led to me just getting psychologically and physically tired earlier throughout a training block. So if I had a 6-week block of training prepared, by week 3, I've taken so many sets to failure so often that I'm just tired, or maybe a nagging injury has come up from pushing myself that hard, and I end up taking an impromptu deload, and that causes kind of an interruption in the consistency aspect of my lifting. Now, if I've got a 6-week block of training prepared, maybe week 1 I might stay 3 reps away from failure on average. Maybe weeks 2 and 3, I'll stay 2 reps away from failure on average. Week 4, I'm only staying 1 rep away from failure. In week 5, that's when I go absolutely Dorian Yates, blood and guts insane, and I blow it out to 0 reps in reserve and beyond, absolutely kill it to the best of my ability. And then week 6, I have a pre-scheduled deload. I already knew it was coming. I had accounted for it. So now I've got a full week to rest and recover and then start the process back over again and build my way all the way back up. So this way, I feel like I kind of get the best of both worlds in terms of really hard and intense failure training, as well as I'm leaving just enough in the tank on average to allow myself to consistently train and get these little mini PRs every week. So guys, those were the 4 things that I changed up about my training over the last part of 2023 going into 2024 that have really made a difference for me. If you feel like you're in a plateau, try implementing some of them for yourself. If you do, give me a shout. Let me know how it worked out for you. If you stayed till the end, thank you so much for watching. Please give this a like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. We've got a lot more stuff coming up soon. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a good rest of the day. And let me know if you have any questions. Take care.